It's never been simpler to start a competitive boxing gym, and I'm about to tell you why. The fight game is the most lucrative thing happening today. And I'm going to tell you exactly why all of you guys who are formerly in the combat world and you are currently now opening or running a competitive boxing gym or MMA gym that has boxing, I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to be your next step, because I don't think that you understand where we are in this thing with time and all of the things that have happened since 2020. The landscape of the combat world has quadrupled just in the past year, let alone the past 4 years. The reason why this is because people don't really care about going to the gym and being fit. There's absolutely nothing tied to being fit. Nothing but health. And I didn't see a empty McDonald's line or a Chick-fil-A line. People don't care about health. People want to feel good. They want to feel like they can do what they want to do. And what's going on in the fight game is you don't have to worry about creating energy to want people to come into the gym. People want to fight. People want to learn boxing. I just want you guys to understand now, this is the time for you to lean into that. Over the course of decades, we had to get boxing accepted again because the fiasco that the 90s brought with boxing, such a negative connotation. But guess what? Now it's back. Guys who are from the world of YouTube have brought it and put it right back into mainstream. And not only that, it's being requested by people who are in their senior years, because they understand the motor skills. They understand that it's giving them something that leans more to an activity, fun, some kind of thing that they never got to do as they grew up. Some things they regretted not being able to do because their parents didn't let them. There's a bevy of reasons why boxing is taking off right now. Because one, the right people are actually involved in it. And so I'm going to give you exactly a blueprint that you can use to help develop this program, because you don't have a gym now. The diamond today is having a fight gym. That means the number one precipice of this thing, what you concentrate on, is teaching people how to fight and compete. And how to fight, because they want to know how to fight. Our social media has grown 7 million viewers new in the past couple of months. And it's not because I'm so great looking. It's because more people want the smoke. And you have to lean into telling people, well, I'm not fitness focused. Why is that? Because when you're saying you're fitness focused, that's just like saying, hey, y'all guys want to go hang out at the doctor's office and get shots today? No, that's not what you want to do as a child. I want to go box. My son played football down here in South Florida. Just signed him up for the Tyreek Hills Football League as well. They went undefeated and gave up less points in South Florida history, basically. In a season, they only gave up 13 points. And when you have those kids, as I got out there to coach, I got an opportunity to run and deal with the young tykes and gave them some boxing one day. I couldn't come back to practice because they wanted to box every time. You see, this is the thing, the impact that boxing is having. Just messing around in the yard with my son. Our neighbors pulling over. People who hardly even pay attention to anything, but they saw that boxing. Younger kids, I'm talking young teens, Gen Zs, and this next generation, plus the ones who are above the age of 50. People were stopping and turning and stopping walking their dogs because people want boxing, and you're the one that has it. And you don't have to take away from what it is. So here are a couple of things that you want to have front and center when you're about to optimize your boxing program, or you're going to start one, meaning kick it off out of the gate, because young fighters want this smoke. The YouTubers want the smoke. The people that want to come are the people now who have more access to seeing it. There's very few really good boxing pages like myself that do not have a great following, because people want to see new techniques. They want to see new tips. They're more willing to listen to a boxing trainer than a personal trainer. And the reason why that is because the personal trainer is giving them something that they don't truly really want. They don't want to get a shot, meaning you have to go to the gym just to get healthy. You can look good, but you have to go if you just want to be healthy. But you can go to the boxing gym and you get the exact same thing and learn how to fight. And it's awesome. And case scenario, you got people like Damon Feldman who have celebrity boxing. It gives people who have the opportunity from the outside of the sport to come in and take part. So tell me, why aren't you leaning in? One of my former clients who is close to me like a brother from another mother, multimillionaire, his family has been generational wealth. He was fourth generation. So they never want it for money. They have power. And one thing that he always said is, in business, you don't supply and demand. You find the demand and supply it. Where we grew up in the institutes that we did, and we always heard that it's supply and demand. No, that's what being around people who are further ahead and they have more of the secrets to life, success, listening to people like that, they really bring clarity to it. And so my journey in the world of business and entrepreneurship has been over 2 decades almost. I tried in the 90s to really be serious about it, but I had the knack. And then I got into it. So you gym owners, you're finding yourself in that stagnant place. You teach fighting. When the summer comes, you should have programs blowing out of your Watusi. And here's what you want front and center when you're trying to go out here now and let people know that you are about to offer them a dream. Girls love it. I'm down here walking the streets of South Beach, Miami Beach, doesn't matter, Palm Beach. If you start boxing, you're going to stop the train. So why are you going towards heavy duty? I'm going into this fitness game. All of these influencers are building their influential presence talking about boxing. My guy Bubba Dub and $1 million worth of game, and bless all of these guys. And people from the hip hop industry like Showbiz the Adult. Go check all of these people out. Their channels are amazing. All the Smoke Fight with Andre Ward, Andre Berto, and Andre Durrell. The next real fight show where it's real, it really encompasses real fighters. Things you got to realize that it's not just gotten here. It's not even began. So like he said, the demand is at an all-time high. Joe Rogan's talking about boxing. MMA fighters are wanting to box boxers. All of this is happening. It hadn't happened. It's not normal. It's going. So in the next 5 years, the numbers are going to have spiked. Like people told you years ago that Facebook was going to spike. Facebook is bigger than YouTube. That's Google. And it's not even close. We're talking about 1 billion more people. Like, that is crazy. And that's what's happening to the fight game. Period. So, is your gym ready? Because people like me who educate and facilitate these audiences are having an influx of people. 7 million from one month to the next. More people tapping at the door of our social media. So are you ready to feed them with your programs, your gym? So this was just more of an announcement because I have coaches that I'm working directly with, and I want them to understand. I told one just not even long ago, hey man, you should lean into the fitness thing. You should totally lean into the fitness thing. And I apologized because men lie, women lie more, and the damn numbers don't. This is the era of all the smoke. And you have to take time and get into this thing called boxing. I'm the biggest supporter of the MMA game. But the bottom line is even the MMA world has trended over here. And it's my job to teach and educate, just like I have been with the boxing game. I've been a part of both worlds since 2004 and a half. At the end of 2004, I came into it and introduced into that world of MMA. Right? So that's still 20 years. Right? So my job then was to see what was coming, and I knew this day was coming. So I was preparing. So I wrote programs, I got books, I got education, because I knew those individuals would want to know, how does this game called boxing work? And now it's up to you to teach these people. And if you don't have curriculum, you know where you can get curriculum. But the thing now is understanding that the pendulum has swung. The YouTube world, the most influential influencers, the podcasts, the shows, television's talking about it more. All of the apps, the world has shifted from Saudi Arabia. They're funding the game. Everybody has their hands in it and reaching towards it. And it's you guys. So if you don't have the boxing program, you don't understand how to roll your stuff out, then we got a thing here for you all. We don't want you to just look and say, okay, but what next? I went to a thing in Fort Lauderdale. There was a mayor there, state representative, a multitude of other successful people, entrepreneurs that own major stuff like whiskey bottles, whiskey and companies and major companies, and literally people who work directly with Quincy Jones, the top breed of businessmen. And they gave a great speech and all the talk. And immediately afterward, I was like, and now what? Because see, that's what happens. So people come prepared for them, but they don't come prepared for you. So we're going to make sure that you guys are going to have a takeaway. So this right here is the rollout plan, the rollout strategy to blow it up and let people know that you are bringing the smoke and you don't have to mold into this other world. Because I'm going to give you a fact about the world of personal training. Personal trainers are not boxing trainers. Personal trainers are physicians. Boxing trainers are mechanics. They're not the same thing. They don't talk the same language. But both of them make a shit ton of money if they do it right. Right? So you don't have to act like a physician anymore. Now you can act exactly like who you are, the algorithm of who you are. You don't have to try to say you just left from being a fighter, or you're just in this world now, just trying to mold into the world and fit like where it is. Several decades ago, I took boxing into the big box gym and they molded to my stuff. And that's where you are right now. Because people like me made that move, then now it's your turn. So I'm going to show you with this rollout plan. Oh, here it is. So it's going to be in a PDF form. All you have to do, really, I'm going to put a link in the description. And if you're on Instagram or YouTube, I'm going to put it in the stories. Subscribe to this down here. Subscribe down there to the masterboxingllc.com, and then you can scroll across to the page. But fortunately, I will have the code down there for you to follow the code, right? That's what we're doing. We're making sure you got something actionable, because I left that thing with like 50 phone numbers, but with no action steps. And I'm not going to let you have no action steps. This is your time. You've waited. You've had your career. Stop trying to mold into a dress and be like them. Now they are trying to be like you. So give them the opportunity. Coaches, it's time to lean in. You are a fight gym. Be that, because now the landscape of the people that you have to feed, it's abundant and it's robust. And we have to teach you guys hand by hand how to operate, because fighters want to fight. Executives want to exec and get a piece of the smoke. One of my friends who literally owned the gym, bought over the gym that I was running that boxing training program in from the beginning, at the very beginning of my early stages. $250 million to the good. This guy was invested his money into this smoking gym. And now he was always corporate and executive, and turning 60, my man, Jeff, is going to be competing. So he's learning striking and all different forms of combat, because that's where it is. Even the executives are wanting to take part. Now, who would train him? You. Who would train those younger guys who are coming from YouTube, like the Misfits and those kids who are building up a monster platform for the fighters? Who are taking all of these guys who are celebrity-like status and giving them an opportunity, like Damon Feldman of celebrity boxing? Who's taking these amateurs who are grooming for the Olympics? You got to get prepared. This last conversation, last 30 seconds. You got amateurs that are coming through your program, and those amateurs must understand the process. So your gym must get prepared to transition them to the pros. What's your plan to transition your amateurs to the pros? You're no longer playing kickball. When you go from amateur boxing to the pros, you're going from field hockey on a table to the Super Bowl in the NFL. What's your plan? If you don't have a plan, get ready for this rollout plan. Go directly to Master Boxing LLC. Use it or not. But don't say we didn't give you something actionable to begin with. Transition for those young kids to go into the professional rankings, so they'll have an idea, because you have that in place for them. It's more than coming to the gym and getting skills. You have to actually have actionable plans and steps, procedures, so that you can be the person that filters all of those negative forces coming from the outside, because you don't understand it. And like I said before, it's never been simpler to start a competitive boxing program, ProAm. So lean into it. The time is now. You got the tools, you now know the rules, and it's time to get it popping with Master Boxing. Start your gym now, and we're going to make sure you guys do so. Hopefully this gave you some value. If it did, continue to follow for more. If you're over on YouTube, subscribe if you want to see tomorrow it's going down. So, Coach Bradley signing out. Until next time, I'll see you soon in the Winner Circle group over on Instagram and Facebook. You guys, see you tomorrow. Peace.
I'm sure you've heard the news. There's a way to become unbeatable in the ring. Ready to find out how? If you're tired of getting hit and struggling to control your rage, it's time to level up. Master these two key aspects of the sweet science, and you'll become what we call a hybrid fighter. How do you master this? I'm going to give you something to do every day the exact same way. First, learn to protect yourself at all times. Cover your blind spots. Master when to use angles. Right now you're using them at the wrong times. You must do it when they don't know it's coming. Think Vasily Lomachenko. He's a hybrid. Next, learn to stay relaxed. This happens when you know how to cover your checkpoints and have 100% confidence that your blind spots are covered or out of range. Want to know when to create angles and master defending your blind spots? To become a hybrid version of yourself. Remember, a hybrid's not the perfect fighter, they're the perfect weapon. Ready to become unstoppable? Let's make it happen.